Shifting focus to another big story, all eyes are on the crucial G20 Summit this week. Several world leaders will gather and discuss key issues on global economy. But the meeting in New Delhi is not aloof from its challenges. It will be a test for New Delhi as the delicate game of diplomacy plays out. Now, ahead of the summit, the UK-India trade deal seems to be in jeopardy. This as the road ahead for the much-anticipated deal is not clear. A report by UK-based media outlet Guardian reveals that Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has ruled out a quick-fix trade deal with India. This means that a deal before the Leaders' Summit is not possible. In fact, it is believed that a deal will only be reached in 2024, that is next year, after both the nations go to polls. Things aren't well when it comes to India-Canada trade ties either. In a very unexpected move, Canada has announced a pause on trade talks with India. And this too, just ahead of the G20 Summit, which Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will be attending in person. Just 3 months ago, both nations agreed to seal an initial agreement this year. However, no explanation has been given by the Canadian side on why the decision to halt the talks has been taken. Meanwhile, political indifferences also loom over the summit. After all the ministerial meetings that have taken place this year in India, no joint statements have been issued by the nations. Now, the reason being the differences over the war in Ukraine. Countries have different stance over the conflict. Now, due to polarized views over the issue, no common language has been decided. And as we get you these updates, the fourth and final Sherpa meeting of the G20 Summit is underway in the northern Indian state of Haryana. It remains to be seen if there will be a joint declaration this time at all. Now, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who will be representing his nation at the G20 Leaders Summit, has categorically said that he will block the summit's final declaration if it does not reflect Russia's stance on the Ukraine invasion. Last year, Russia agreed to certain text regarding the Ukraine conflict in the declaration at the Bali G20 Summit. However, it withdrew from the same this year. And lastly, the question over whether Chinese President Xi Jinping will be attending the summit or not also undermines the summit. China has confirmed now that Xi Jinping will not be attending the summit, and the Premier Li Qiang will be here instead, representing Beijing. Now, China has not given any reason behind this decision.
At the invitation of the Government of Republic of India, State Council Premier Li Qiang will attend the 18th Summit of the Leaders of the Group of 20 in New Delhi, India from September 9th to 10th.
Despite all the concerns, the summit holds immense significance for India as the country chairs the meeting during prevailing geopolitical tensions. India has made it clear that it seeks to be the voice of the global south, and Africa is its top priority. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already initiated the process to grant African Union full membership of the G20 grouping. India sees G20 presidency as an opportunity to spearhead the ways to tackle multiple complex challenges that the world is facing. And with the theme of One Earth, One Family, One Future, it seeks to instill sense of unanimity among all nations. Now, WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibbu has sent us this report on G20.
It's official, the Chinese President Xi Jinping is missing the G20 summit in Delhi. There could be several reasons. The announcement that has come from the Chinese Foreign Ministry is a brief line which says that Premier Li is going to attend the G20 summit here in Delhi. Now, there could be several reasons. One, of course, the economic crisis China is facing. The second, of course, the strained India-China relationship. China has been aggressive with India at the borders, and since the Galwan incident, Second, relationship has fallen and gone southwards. And third could be not meeting the US President Joe Biden. Of course, we know that relationship is also strained between Beijing and Washington. And just before the summit, China also released a new map claiming territories of countries in the region. And there were reactions from 7 countries in the region. So all in all, a message has been sent from Beijing that when it comes to India's presidency of the G20 grouping, it is not going to support it, and that is why we have seen the Chinese president skipping it, but also when it comes to various conversations with the Chinese side has been standing out in terms of playing by the consensus. With video journalist Sanjeet Siddhansibal for WION in New Delhi.